Okay.
Obviously, Erik, you couldn't comment until everything was official. Everything's official now. So your thoughts on who Terry Rozier is and how he fits in with this Miami Heat team at this moment?
Yeah, we're really excited about it. Probably 2 months ago, you don't really think about this or that a move like this could be possible. He just has a lot of those competitive qualities that we respect and we think really not only resonate with us, but help impact winning in a big way. He's a competitive guy, and winning matters to him. He respects our uniform. He really wanted to be here, and not everybody wants to play for us. So that matters. We want to have like-minded competitors that view competition in a very similar way. I always thought that he was one of the most dangerous X factors when he was in Boston. In my preps against Boston, we knew who, their big players were, but we always felt that if Terry could have an impact on the game, you just would have a really hard time winning against Boston. And he had some big playoff moments that matters for us. And in the meantime, in Charlotte, he's really developed his game. He's a lot better, particularly on the offensive end, than when he left Boston. And we could use some offensive punch right now. And I think he has the personality and the game that'll fit in. I don't think he's going to try to step in here and overpower anybody. I think he just wants to complement, and more than anything, in talking to him, he just wants to be part of winning again. He wants to be a part of the playoffs. He wants to be a part of environments during the playoffs, and to hopefully do some real special things during those playoffs.
Tyler was saying yesterday how excited he is about teaming with Terry. Things you think that those two as a tandem could do together, what advantages does it give you?
Yeah, the skill level is extremely high with both of these guys. Terry can play more naturally at the point, but as we know, Tyler, his skill level, his ball handling, his playmaking has improved so much, and Terry, knows how to play on the ball, and he also knows how to play off the ball, which is really important, for our group. And he's had success doing both. I think this year with ball out, he had to do a whole lot more on the ball, and I think that just shows you what he's capable of, leading the attack. But he's fully comfortable, adding his skill set, his playmaking, his ball handling, off the catch ability, to what we have here. I just think that makes us really dynamic with two uber skilled players. And he wanted to make a point of it too, that he doesn't have to be ball dominant. I think that just shows a maturity, but also Terry has a different perspective than a lot of guys. He competed at a really high level coming into this league in the playoffs. Once you've experienced that, and then you go to another place, I'm not knocking on anything. It just when you're not in the playoffs, even if you're developing and your game grows and you have more responsibilities, the real competitors, that's not enough for them. And that's how Terry, felt. It felt empty. And I think he just wants to get back into an environment where he can contribute and help a team win.
I was going to ask you about his ability to play without the ball, so I'll pivot. When you make a trade, you have a guy that you lose in Kyle. What did he mean to the team? What were your thoughts on losing Kyle?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked about Kyle because, we all pushed, to get Kyle here, and it was for a reason. Kyle, you can never define him by his stats. His whole career, and particularly, as an ultimate winner, you define him by whether your team is winning or not and how it was functioning. And the first 2 years, the resume speaks for itself. The Eastern Conference Finals, then going to the finals. And he was a big part of both seasons. And his ability to impact both units, the first year as a full-time starter, and then when we had injuries, to really help us secure that number one seed. If we didn't have those 6 weeks, with him playing at an extremely high level and infusing confidence into everybody, we wouldn't have had that number one seed. And then the second year, to be able to handle coming in off the bench and really starring in that role after his injury. And our second unit really struggled last year until he went into it, and he just basically fixed all of that. So, as a human being, I've gotten to know him, a long time before we got him. I just really respect him and enjoy him as a human being. I'll miss that, and this is part of the business. You come to really develop some strong relationships with people, and then sometimes you have to make a business decision, and that's what this was. He'll be just fine. He'll find his next spot, whatever that is, whether it's Charlotte or somewhere else, and he'll continue to make an impact. But in the meantime, we're thrilled about the addition of Terry, and think he can give us a needed boost right now in a very competitive Eastern Conference.
Terry graded out pretty well defensively in Boston, and even in Charlotte, he tended to have high deflections, high steals. In terms of what you want to accomplish on defense, how does he fit into the system?
Yeah, I think first you have to have that competitiveness and that toughness. He checks both those boxes. It matters to him, and he was part of some really tough defensive teams in Boston. And he was able to guard, three positions and really compete at a high level. He's been coached by very good defensive coaches, starting in college with Pitino, Brad, and even Steve. They demand a lot on the defensive end. So he knows how important it is for us here. I think he has enough of a background, over the course of his career that he'll be able to impact that side of the floor. And whatever reason, people don't view him as a defender. I found that strange, because that's how I viewed him. And I think he'll fit in very well into our system.
Coach, you mentioned how you want Terry to be really complimentary with the team. He averaged about 20-plus points, coming into a team with three other 20-plus point scorers. Do you imagine there's going to be some rough patches kind of mixing in with the guys?
I don't want to breathe that into existence. I don't know. We'll see. We're not where we want to be right now. I know that. I know our offense has to get to our level. It takes a little bit of sacrifice from everybody. Everybody wants our offense to function at a much more explosive level, and everybody has to feel like they can be who they are, and they're also helping other guys. Where all the averages will be, I don't know. I don't care. It's about winning, right now. And I think he's also aware that he's not going to come in here, with the same type of usage and everything that he had in Charlotte. That was one of the things I had talked to him about, and he was already like, hey, I already get this. I understand, and I want to contribute and help winning. That's music to our ears, and let's just see how this all, plays out. All right, thank you.